Yo, Charlotte been telling me this for years, and I'm not gonna lie. I ain't listening. But now I'm listening. This is how I gotta be, Charlotte. This is how I gotta be. I hear you loud and clear, but this is how it has to be, Charlotte. This is how it has to be. I'm hearing you, though. This is my word. I'm hearing you. I understand. I fully comprehend where we going. I understand it. I understand 2A. I understand the pew-pew life. I understand that. But this is how it has to be, Charlotte. For real. I've been here for going on 10 years. This is how it has to be now, right? All right, I get it. I got it. I'm with the program. Let's go. Before I begin, I just want to let you all know that I'm no tough guy. Straight up. It's good apple juice, man. Good apple juice. It's expensive. About $10. Good apple juice, though. Straight up. But I'm no tough guy. I don't want the heat. I don't want the smoke. The very beginning of this video, it's not to intimidate anyone. It's not to threaten anyone. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. Straight up. This is my word. Like, at one point in time, when I first got to Charlotte, there was crime. There was always crime in Charlotte, for real. You know what I'm saying? You had Hidden Valley. You had a whole bunch of, areas that was in Charlotte that was popping. I mean, they did documentaries on the gang violence that was here. You understand? But for some odd reason, things settled down by the time I got here in 2009. And it wasn't as bad as it was in the past. I've talked to, locals like Joe Sig, and he told me how it used to be. It was like the Wild Wild West back in the days in Charlotte. But when I got here, things that had changed a lot drastically. And I really felt safe in and around the city. And like when I first got here, I used to sell bootleg movies, CDs, and all of that stuff. I was a bootlegger. So I was able to maneuver back and forth throughout the city because I'm a hustler like that. And just about every part of the city, the locals, the people that were there, they allowed me to go out there and I guess, modernize trap. It wasn't called a trap before, but I was trapping. I was out there selling my goods. And they allowed me to do it. They didn't look at me as being a threat. And I mean, of course, I was selling oils, incense. I mean, what kind of threat was I? I wasn't selling crack. And I remember distinctively. I befriended a person, and make a long story short, they got in beef with somebody else. The next thing you know, this guy got shot, and I was caught in the middle of it. You understand? And that's when things got a little hectic. Now, taking heed, I wasn't a gun owner, or rather a firearm owner back then. I was trying to figure out how can I legally become a firearm owner. I say firearm because I just want to keep that, in my mind instead of saying gun, 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 gun. Especially when being pulled over by the cops. You don't want to say, officer, I have a gun under my seat. I have a gun in the glove compartment. No, that's not the type of vernacular verbiage that you want to use. You want to say, officer, I have a licensed firearm under my seat. I'll show you my identification as well as my CCW. That's how you want to do it. Matter of fact, you want to have your CCW and also your identification, or rather license, out before the cops even get there, and identify that you have a firearm before the cops even start asking a whole bunch of questions, and let him know where it's at, and that he can touch it, he can take the magazine out, and that it's fully loaded, so it's one in the chamber. Let him know all of that. You understand? So yeah, I didn't have a firearm back then. I wasn't able to protect myself. I wasn't able to defend myself. So I was caught out there in those streets. And for a couple months, I was on the edge, because believe it or not, dudes were looking for me. Just because I was affiliated with someone that shot their man in the face and in his arm. You understand? So things died down and, fast forward, I'm here right now. And it's crazy. Now that I'm a firearm owner, I take, and then I took it a little further. I got my CCW, which is the Concealed Carry Weapons License. So I get you see what I just demonstrated to you, in the earlier part of this video? I get to wear my firearms just like that with a shirt over it. I have the legal right, being that I have my CCW, to actually put my firearm under my seat, on top of my seat, in the glove compartment, in the driver's, the driver's door, that side panel. I can carry as many guns or firearms, should I say, as I want. I can put my AR-15 in the car. Matter of fact, I can legally carry my AR-15 strapped on my back. Now, I wouldn't recommend, us colored folks to do that type of shit. But at the end of the day, once you, go through the legal procedures to acquire, a rifle as well as a handgun, you can pretty much have your firearm on you. If you don't have a CCW, but you have to have it on your side where it can be shown. So just the other day, a guy tried to talk to me in Host Food. And I don't want to make this a long, drawn out story, but for the most part, there are places that, where if the sign is on the door, it's a sticker. If it says no firearms allowed, you cannot go in that store. Now, I've been hard-headed, I'm not going to lie. Quite a few times I've walked in Host Food with my, as we call it, blicky in the streets. But I'll just say firearm, you know what I'm saying? I've walked in with my firearm. That particular day, which was this past Sunday, I decided to obey and, listen to their laws, to their law, Host Food that is. So I left my firearm inside the glove compartment with the door locked. And a grown-ass man tried to hit on me. And I almost flipped. And, I walked it off because I'm trying to be wholesome in Host Food. And I'm trying to turn a new leaf. I'm a hothead, I have a temper, and also I have a Napoleon's complex. So, us short guys, we're always thinking that someone's trying to, attack us just because of our height. You understand? So I said, you know what, this is not going to end well. So let me just walk away from this dude. I'm making a point here. Hear me out. So I found refuge with this African-American woman that works there. I see her, all the time. And I say hello or whatever have you. So I went over there and I said, hey, how you doing? She was like, I'm doing fine. She said, and you? And I said, nah, I'm not doing too fine. You know what I'm saying? She's like, well, what's wrong? I was like, yo, I'm trying to be wholesome in Host Food. I have a pass, I have a temper, and this guy tried to hit on me. And I don't play that. I'm a masculine heterosexual man. And it's about to be on in Host Food. And you know what this female said? Because I know a lot of you African-American women say this all the time. When we in our time of need, we don't see any type of black man there that's here to protect us. Well, guess what? In this story, I wanted her to nurture me. I wanted her to make me feel better because I was just traumatized. I've never had a man literally come up in my face and try to talk to me. Right? This is new to me. You know what she said? Laughed it off. Oh man, he was just trying to shoot his shot. Black women, you let me down that day. And I've got into a lot of different altercations. You know what I'm saying? And like as of recent, because transplants are coming from everywhere and they're bringing all of their fuckery with them. And see, I'm not the type of person to play games. Even though I look cuddly and sweet and cute and all the rest of that stuff, I'm really not. In reality, I'm about that life when it comes to you threatening me. When it comes to you trying to emasculate me. When it comes to you, wanting to control me. That's when you see the real side of me. And it's a shame that I can't walk these Charlotte streets without having my firearm on me. And now I have to, this is crazy. This is real talk. Now I have to say to myself, I may not be able to eat healthy ever again. You want to know why? Because Whole Foods won't allow me to bring my firearm in there. So I could go to Harris Teeter. I can go in any grocery store, Publix. I can go to Food Lion. I could go to the mall. I can go anywhere where there's no sign on the door. And you have to understand, it's like that. It's like that. Let me tell you something. I stayed in the hood. I've seen a person get shot and him gasping for air. Taking his last breath. For real, no lie. And later on, he survived. But at that point in time, he was on the ground, dead. I survived the hood for the small amount of time I've lived there. Well, I've lived there several times throughout my life. And I've survived each and every time. I've been pistol whipped. I've gotten jumped a few times. I've gotten robbed. I've jumped, dudes. I've fought and lost and won fights. And it's crazy that when you move out to the suburbs, you're thinking you're getting away from the animals, but you're only walking into a different type of lion's den. And that type of lion's den in the suburbs is totally different from those wolves that's from the hood. You see, you can see them coming. But when you're in the suburbs and you're wearing flip-flops and in a place like the Waverly Whole Foods, for those that are familiar with that area, you're thinking, hey man, I got my guards down. I'm in the Whole Foods. What could possibly happen? You're not thinking one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna go to Whole Foods. This is a normal routine that I do on Sundays. You're not thinking that you're gonna wake up this particular Sunday, get up and go to Whole Foods and a grown ass man is trying to talk to you. And guess what? Now they got rights now. So if I would have swung on him, because I know that's the first thing that y'all are trying to say. Well, what if no? If I would have swung on him, that would have been what? A hate crime. They would have put me under jail to the point where I'm in hell. So what rights does a heterosexual man have? I tell you what right we have. 2A. Second Amendment right. And a good lawyer. Straight up. It just doesn't make sense, man. I'm thinking I'm getting away from the wolves, the lions, the tiger sharks. When I moved out of the hood, only to know now, as of recent, that these type of wolves and lions and tigers and all of that stuff, they're more ferocious than them because you can't see them coming. You can't. That's why I tell you to stay safe in these Charlotte streets. That is not safe anywhere. I just looked on WVTV News, and this Caucasian lady was talking to I don't know whether he was black or white or whatever have you, and she entertained him for just a couple of seconds. And he was like, yeah, you got a nice car and this and that, so forth. You mind if I drive it? And she's like, no, you can't drive my car. Next thing you know, boom, he took her car. Y'all think just because Charlotte is named after a queen, y'all think just because in Uptown it's so clean and beautiful, ask the Charlotteans, ask the people that were born and raised here how much shit has happened in Uptown. I've literally seen it with my own eyes, a black woman snatch a white woman's pocketbook. And this is not a race thing, straight up, because I've seen white people with my own eyes act like niggas. Because white people, as Pretty Ricky would say, can nig. Straight up. I've seen it with my own eyes. Dilworth Grill, right off of Moorhead Street. Right across the street from that, where they building all of those apartment buildings and stuff like that. Never forget it. White dude threw a bottle, almost hit me, but he was aiming for somebody else. Next thing you know, they fight back and forth. A big brawl starts out. I'm like, let me make my way up out of here. Or how about like New Year's Eve? What was it? 2020. 2020. At the Shell gas station located on the corner of East Boulevard and South Boulevard. With 3 white guys, they got out of the car and everything was cool. I don't know what happened, but all I know is I just seen a whole bunch of white guys just break out and start fighting. It ain't safe anywhere. You want to know why? Because everybody has firearms. So please, miss me with that BS. Miss me with that BS. Oh, he's trying to show off and he's this and that, so blah, 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 blah. Everybody has them. Everybody has firearms down here. Everybody has an AR-15 down here. This is what I'm trying to understand. Why these people, I'm talking about my channel now. Why these people threatening me knowing that I am fully fucking loaded? And if you live in Charlotte, you know how Charlotte gets down. Straight up. You see, for those that are new to the channel, this is the real. You can listen to these transplants that don't know shit about Charlotte, if you want to. They've been here a year, 2 or 3. They don't know Charlotte like I do. Or definitely the locals do. The ones that were born and raised here. They can tell you a thing or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. That these hard-headed Negroes, as well as white people, they don't care where they set it off at. You think you safe in North Lake Mall? People have been shot in North Lake Mall. People have gotten beat up in North Lake Mall. That's real. That's real. You think you safe in Concord Mills Mall? People have gotten shot and killed in Concord Mills Mall. Just a couple of weeks ago, 3 black dudes stole some credit cards from somebody, and the cops had a foot chase through Concord Mills. They wind up cornering them in a construction area in the mall, and the criminals shot back at the cops. And the cops, I don't know if they fatally injured him, but they damn for sure shot him a couple times to the point where he had to go to the hospital. You see, let me tell you something about me. The cops have a horrible job trying to clean these streets up. I'm not going to be another hindrance. No, that's not going to be me. You see, what you got to do is you got to be your first responder. You understand? Because the cops, I mean, we get, let me tell you something, especially us as African Americans. You know what I'm saying? We're really hard on the cops, and pause, and rightfully so. But there's still some good cops out there. And let me tell you something. If you ain't never been a cop, in which I haven't, but I can only imagine what it's like being a police officer. For real, this is my word. While you're running away from the danger, they're going into it. And guess what? They have children. They have a family. So I can understand, I got to take you out first before you take me out. I can understand that whole ideology if you ever been in that position. So before you shit on CMPD, know that they have a hard-ass job. And they're under fucking paid for that hard job that they have to do every fucking day, protecting their citizens as we conduct business and do whatever the fuck we want to do. And then we spit and shit on them, talk shit about them. talk shit to him when we see him. Not, yo, hey, listen, Mr. Police Officer, I just want to say, yo, thank you for at least protecting. Like, some of these police officers really protect and defend the community. So I'm not going to make their job harder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything that I need on a legal level in order to carry my firearms so that I can protect my own self. And that's what I'm trying to tell you all. You know what I'm saying? Especially you single mothers. Don't come down here thinking that shit is sweet. You better get you something. You better get you something. This Taurus G3C. This is a nice firearm that you. Just making sure that I don't have the serial number. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. And if you don't know anything about firearms, man, I've been saying this like this is my 18th, 19,000th time making a video like this. If you don't know anything about firearms, man, go to any gun range and just say, I don't know a goddamn thing about firearms, and can someone help me? And I'm telling you, people will be more than happy to assist you. And when you're ready to purchase a firearm, they'll be more than happy to help you with your selection. I will say this: don't ever get a firearm that you've never fired. Doesn't make sense. Each and every firearm that I've had the privilege of having a brother that knows a lot about firearms, which is pretty Ricky. So whatever firearm that I wanted to own, he either had it or he took me to the range and was like, yo, we're going to rent this one since you said you like that one, and we're going to fire it. I am very thankful that I have a brother like him, man. And the only thing that he says, oh, you don't have to pay me nothing. I don't want lunch. Don't take me out to lunch. Don't do none of that shit. Just each one teach one. Pass that good message on to someone else. And that's what I'm trying to do to you all. Passing on that good message. And I don't want nothing from you. I don't want you to take me out to lunch. I want you to just take heed to what I have to say. And once you know what I'm saying, are a firearm owner, pass on that good message to someone else. This is not a race thing. All races need to protect and defend themselves. All races have the opportunity to practice their Second Amendment right, which is the right to bear arms. Because it's not cool out here in these Charlotte streets. It's just not. Straight up. And like I said before, I live in the suburbs, and all I do is go to these high uppity, places, like Waverly and South Park and Ballantyne to shop. And I can tell you, man, that these guys out here, and it's no disrespect to the LGBTQ community, but you all have gotten out of fucking hand. And that's real talk. They have given you all rights, so therefore you think that you have the privilege to talk to anyone that you want to talk to. You have the right to touch and have your way with anyone that you want to. And guess what? Let me tell you something. You're going to be sadly mistaken when you run up on the wrong person. Straight up. And all of these dudes that's out here stealing cars and breaking into homes, let me explain something to you. You need to stop. Get you a fucking job, work at Wendy's, Target. Yo, they hiring every fucking where. You don't necessarily have to be a criminal. Because guess what? One day, sooner or later, you're going to break into the wrong car and in the wrong house. And that may be your last breath that you breathe, because these people are not playing out here. They're not. They're not. Everybody owns firearms. Everyone. Everybody. Everybody. My baby mama owns a firearm. Stop it. And she had a firearm before I met her. That's real talk. So yeah, man, I would definitely encourage you, if you don't have one already, to at least get some type of home defense, like a shotgun. It used to be back in the days before all of the school incidents, if you know what I'm saying, because I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to be flagged by YouTube. But you know what I'm saying, those school events. Prior to that, they used to have shotguns in Walmart. And you could go to Walmart and just purchase one. You understand? But now they don't sell them anymore. But you can go to any Cabela's, Pro Bass shop, and right now you don't need a license. I mean, you don't need a CCW. You don't need a permit to get a rifle. You don't. Like when I got my AR-15, I got it in, you know, the upper and the lower sent to me. And all I had to do was just combine it together, and boom, I had an AR-15. And that was prior to me getting my CCW. I was prior to I had my permit, so I had 2 permits to get 2 handguns. But you know, I think I only had like 1 back. I know I had my GSG 16 22 LR, and then after that, you know what I'm saying, I think I got my Canik TP9SF, and then after that I got the AR-15. And I didn't have my CCW. I just had like two permits to get a handgun, and I had my GSG 16, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, man, I encourage you all to get out there, be vigilant, watch your own back, pay attention to your surroundings, because it's not safe out here. It really isn't. Straight up, you can get it anywhere. You know, there have been shootouts in Carolina Place in Pineville, North Carolina. It hasn't been too much going on in South Park. I think it might have been like a fight at South Park. Other than that, I mean, man, you can get it any and everywhere. Uptown Charlotte, all of that. Before Young Dolph died, that's where they shot up his van at, in Uptown Charlotte. So niggas are gonna nig. That plain and simple. So yeah, I hope this video has been helpful to you, and hopefully I didn't scare you in the very beginning, because I'm not the type of person to want to scare anyone or threaten. I'm here to just give you the information. And that's that. You know, I don't really see too many people that do Charlotte reviews talk about the violence and also how you should be prepared. You know, so other than that, man, y'all have a good night. My name is Langston2092. I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this video. Peace.